Whoa. Wow, what a transformation.
I know.
This looks amazing.
It looks completely different from when we started all the way to putting everything back and labeling.
Sure does.
Okay, so now that I've spent 5 hours plus shopping time organizing the space, the key is maintaining. The only way that this space is going to stay organized is if we both maintain it, because this is a joint space. Both of us are using it. It's not just my space. It's not just your space.
Right.
So this is a community effort.
Okay.
Right? You agree?
I agree.
Okay. So I'm going to show you everything I did here, and I'm going to explain it in, so you're a visual learner. So there's
Right.
3 types of learners. There's the auditory learner, which learns best just by listening, which is totally not Ed. He needs a visual. And then there's the visual learner who learns best just by seeing, and like, you know, as I'm explaining, you can just see exactly what I'm explaining. And then there's the kinesthetic learner, which learns best by showing and touching and, like, you know, opening something or pulling out a bin. So we're going to do a little bit of both so you can really understand what I did and understand where things go.
Sounds great.
Okay, so up here I put all of the oils, vinegars, and condiments. So do you want to spin it and see how nice that Lazy Susan spins?
Wow.
Isn't that nice?
It's really smooth.
Yeah. Okay, so when you're done cooking, since you do most of the cooking, with the exception of the olive oil that we use every day or you use while you're cooking, this is where the oil and vinegar goes.
Okay.
So when you're done, you just put it back here. And you see it's nice and functional. Since you're the functionalist, you appreciate things that are easy to use, and you just appreciate function.
I do.
And I'm a perfectionist, so I like sometimes, I mean, I understand function, but sometimes I like form over function, and you can see that I've satisfied that style.
Yeah,
So-
you integrated both of them.
yeah, so we're good with that shelf. And then back here is some bulk items that we're not currently using. So when you have bulk items, you want to use the things that you have opened first, and then you touch the bulk items after these are already opened and they're done.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
All right. On this shelf, there's snacks and dinner foods. So snacks, when you're packing your lunch or you just want a midday snack, you're going to come here. And there's some dessert items here
Okay.
also. And then dinner foods, when you're cooking dinner, they're all in here. And
All
then
right.
there's things on the back wall too. And then there's extra soup cans on the Lazy Susan back there in the corner.
Okay.
So on this shelf is all of the dry goods. So it's like flour, sugar, beans, oatmeal, quinoa, dog food. And the extra dry goods, like the stuff that didn't fit in the container since it's already full, is in the white pull-out sliding bins down there. So when something gets low, like suppose the oatmeal gets low, then the extra oatmeal is at the bottom, and then we'll just take that out and we'll refill it.
Okay.
The key is to do it immediately. So once you notice that there's room for more oatmeal, maybe it's not like here, but maybe you're down here, then you want to refill it.
Okay.
We don't want to let it go empty if we know that we have extra down there. So we just have to remember.
Okay.
Okay. And then the very bottom, there's beverages like water bottles, tea, coffee. And actually what I did here was, do you remember all the tea bags you had here that you bought online because they're super cheap?
Right.
So I put them all inside here, like a little bit of one of each kind. And then there's a big refill bag at the bottom.
Oh.
So once we see that this is getting low, go to the bottom and we'll refill this.
Okay.
All right. Okay, and then paper towels are up here, and then again at the very bottom are more things that you buy in bulk. And then on the door rack, there's all of our spices. So again, these are the spices that we don't use on an everyday basis. The ones that you cook with every day, since you do the majority of the cooking, are in the cabinet next to the stove.
Okay.
Because,
Makes sense.
right? Because you
I like.
prefer the function to be next to the stove as opposed to in here.
Right.
So we compromised on that.
I sure did.
All right. So bulk spices and then all the soup cans at the bottom. All right. So the key to maintaining, if you take something out, put it back exactly where it belongs, right?
Right. Okay.
And now that we have everything organized, we're not going to be buying duplicates because we know where everything is. So if you can't find something, we're not just going to go out and buy a second one. We're going to look for it until we're certain that we don't have it. Then we go out and buy it.
That's going to save money
Yeah, it's going to save a lot of money.
and time.
Right. And then when something is finished, we're not just going to put the bag back in empty. We're actually going to throw it away. And then when we buy something inside of like a cardboard box, like granola bars, we're going to take everything out of the box and then put it inside the snack bin and then recycle the box because it's going to save so much space.
That's
and
great.
I'm just trying to think what else I did. That's the majority of everything. I drew out a map, which we're going to hang. So if there's any, if you just forget where something goes and you don't want to read the label, or you just miss the label for whatever reason, we can come to this map and we know where everything belongs.
Okay, great.
So I'm just going to hang it inside here. And then in a few months, maybe in 3 months or something, we're going to come back and we're going to tweak the pantry to make sure that we're just staying on top of it and make sure that, you know, we're keeping it as organized as we can.
And that the systems are working for us.
Right, exactly. And if systems aren't working, if we find that maybe we want the snacks down here or we want something else moved, then we can always tweak that down the road. But the key is to tweak your system if you find something that's not working.
Great.
And that goes for both of us.
Right.
Okay, so now that we're done, we are going to take an after picture so we can see the dramatic before and after. And if we even want, as motivation, we will post the before and the after picture somewhere in the pantry. So you can just, you get that motivation of, I want to keep it organized, so I'm just going to look at the after picture, and I don't want to go back to my old ways by looking at the before picture. So it's kind of motivating.
Great idea.
Yeah. All right, so let's take this picture and then we will clean up. All right.
Nice.
Cool. Thank you for your help.
Thank you for showing me.